Good morning. I'm Chrystal Hines. I am the president and CEO of the Inner Beauty Program, Inc.
Could you first just tell me a little bit about the background of your organization, things like why, when, and where the organization began its work?
Okay. So we began in 2002, and in 2002, it was actually just um, to build the self-esteem of a few young ladies in a small cohort. And from there, we started our inner beauty pageant, and our inner beauty pageant is still a staple today. We are in our 18th year of the pageant, and so what we like to do is build their self-esteem and their character, their poise, and their personality. We do this through a character building curriculum, and we make sure that we focus on lots of things that the young ladies need, and that would be things that they need to know for home, for the community, for school, and for life in general. So we really hit those life skills really hard, really hit social skills really hard, and anything that we can think of that a young lady might need is what we want to, provide for them. And so we're like a full service salon for young ladies in the community, and we service young ladies ages 6 through 18. And then we also have an aftercare program too, so that after they age out of the program, they can either stay and become what we call daughters of IB, which is to stay connected so that they can basically grow along with us, and they can become mentors or tutors with the agency. They can also just be a part of the agency so that they can still be connected to their life coaches and mentors and things like that.
Okay, perfect. And so you touched on some of the services that you provide. Could you tell me a little bit more about the Inner Beauty Pageant? You said it's been 18 years of that, and
Mhm.
that's one of like your staple kind of things that you do.
It is. So the inner beauty pageant is basically focused on the inner attributes of a young lady. I mean, it's the glamorous part too. It's just like what you see on TV, a pageant where they walk in their gowns and they do talent, and they do a group dance to show unity. But it's also based off of what they've learned throughout the program. And so while they're prepping for the pageant, it's not just about stage presence, and it's not just about how talented they are. They also have to go through, again, these character building activities and team building activities. And then they take a personal interview before the pageant. And actually, that 80% of their score is based off of their personal interview. And they ask some really in-depth questions about, I don't want to give up what they're asking, but they're asking about life, and they're asking about character, and they're making sure that these young ladies are developed in a way that they are putting who they are on the inside forward before anything. And that it doesn't matter if they're a size 2, a size 32, it doesn't matter what skin tone they are, that they really bridle who they are on the inside, and they allow that to pretty much radiate before anything else.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for explaining that. And
Mhm.
so again, you talked about kind of the population that you serve. Could you tell me a little bit about where it is you serve? Are you just in certain cities, or are you across the whole state of Indiana, or like where all are you?
So we primarily service Marion County in Indiana,
Okay.
but we also will go around to the donut counties. We've been as far as Illinois, and right now we're partnered with our coalition is called the Indie Mentor Network, and so our stretch is even wider virtually. We're now nationwide on a virtual village platform, and so in person we're just right here in the city, but our reach goes much further, all the way from coast to coast, because of Zoom and these new capabilities that we have that we hadn't had before.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that like the Zoom seems to have expanded everybody's reach right now. I wanted to ask too,
Absolutely.
um, could you share a couple examples of how your organization is having a positive impact?
Well, I would say that there's lots of different facets to what we do. We mentor, we tutor, we do life coaching. We have a day and evening reporting program for young ladies who get kicked out of school or kicked out of the community per se, for their behavior. We have home-based casework. We work with the parents. We do parent education. So all the different types of services that you can imagine is what we're trying to wrap around these families. Again, full service salon, just so that they have like a one-stop shop. They're familiar with the staff, familiar with the mentors, and we're really trying to instill just all types of values that people are going to need, to get along with in life in general. I think the biggest thing that people may not know is that the reason that we're able to reach the young ladies the way that we do, and the parents and the families that we work with, is because we were those young ladies. You know, we have our mentors come from a lot of different diverse backgrounds. But the thing that makes us connected is that we've all suffered some form of trauma. And I mean, I know that everyone in general has, but the same types of traumatic events and experiences that our girls go through are the same types of things that we have overcome. And so it's easier for us to reach them, for us to connect with them, because we know where they came from. We know what it's like to be in all those different scenarios and still be able to come out of that strong. Um, and I think that makes us really unique, and it really puts us in a position where our clients can be successful because they know our backstory, and they know that we've become successful from that.
Yeah, wow. Well, that's actually a perfect segue into just the next part of this. And this is the last part of the interview, which is talking about you as a provider. And so my question is, and you kind of touched on this, is like, what inspired you to become a provider in the first place?
Well, I actually I went to school to be a teacher, and that's what I always thought I would be. But once I started Inner Beauty and it started to kind of catch in the community, and choices, they had asked early on, like, hey, would you like to, well, could you allow some of our girls to be a part of your program? And I was thinking, yeah, no problem. Anybody could be a part of the program. And they were like, no, we've got some really, serious cases. And you think you're going to be capable? And I'm always willing to try anything with young ladies to help them get to the next level. And so I was like, sure. And we've serviced, I don't know, it's been so many years. We started helping with Choices in 2007 and became a provider officially by contract in 2010. And so we've helped so many girls throughout the years. And what keeps us pumped is just, those success stories and the girls coming back and reproducing themselves and wanting to help the next group of girls. And just seeing that we're actually making a difference. Everything isn't going to be like huge and humongous where, you've got a story that goes, to Oprah or Ellen or something like that. But if they just, hit the next milestone and they do well, and they can, build a life that's better than what it would have been had we not been available to service them, then I think that we made a good impact. And so it just keeps me going, just those intrinsic rewards of just knowing that, wow, somebody has grown a little, somebody has made it, somebody, a young lady calls and says, hey, remember that time we made those eggs and bacon? Yeah, I just made that for my mom for Mother's Day. Things like that. It really warms my heart to know that they are sustained in an apartment and they have a nice job, or they're graduating from high school or college, because we've got college grads already, through the program. And so those things keep us motivated. They keep us going, and just makes it very beneficial to be a provider.
I feel like you might have already just answered this, like right there, but what would you say is the best part of being a provider?
I think that the best part of being a provider with Choices is that we're kind of like a family, and we always have been. And so with the care coordinator and the teams that they put together, we're always really close and work really well together. And so it makes it worthwhile because we know that there's other people that we can call on to help to build a successful family. And so I think that's the best thing about the provider network with Choices, is just knowing that everybody at Choices, no matter if they're a new coordinator, old coordinator, whoever it is, it's much like a family atmosphere, and we work really well together.
Now that you've done this since you said 2002, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
kind of getting into this point where you've done this for a while. I guess, like, reflecting back on that, how do you feel about the work that you've done since 2002, the last 18, 19 years?
Well, I think that the longer that I've gotten to do this, the more passionate I've become. And it's not just like on the surface, like I really just want to help people to be successful. I really just want people to thrive in the world. I really want to see people who are considered like, um, and I hate to use this term because it just doesn't really, it shouldn't exist anymore, but at-risk families, I really like to see them persevere and really beat all the odds. And so I just know that over this time, we've been given lots more tools and lots more information, not being just trauma informed anymore, but really being trauma responsive and going out and really seeking what's best for every family that we work with. And so the education that we've been able to get, and just the connections and the networking we've been able to make, so that we could really, like I said, wrap these families really tight and help move them to the next level, is just it's, gosh, I just can't, I can't put into words. It's a great feeling. And I see myself doing this for 20 and 40 more years, just building other people up under me so that they can do it the same way, with the same, just fire that we've had. I have a great team. My husband is Kareem Hines. He does the New Boy program. And so we connect our programs so they mirror each other. And I just think that if I didn't have him to come home to and to talk about the same things, that it could be a much harder job. But we like to bounce ideas off of each other. And again, we work on these teams together, and it makes things, really great for families and really successful.